Hey guys, and welcome back to another art lesson. Today we're I forgot my line.
Line. Wait, that sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, today we're talking about lines. Now, whether we know it or not, lines are all around us and everything that we see, like a line of a whole bunch of people waiting outside a Sam's Club for toilet paper. Oof. In art, though, lines are especially important because artists use them all the time to draw the things that they see around them or the things that they imagine. Everything you could possibly think of starts with a line. You want to draw an apple? Well, you got to start with a line. You want to draw Mickey Mouse? Well, he needs some lines too. You want to draw this thing? Well, there's lines in that too. Now, the cool thing about lines is that there's so many of them out there and so many different ones you can use. You can use straight lines, you can use zigzag lines, you can use swirly lines, you can use diagonal lines, you can use jagged lines, and you can also change the thickness of a line, meaning sometimes you'll have a super skinny line, and sometimes you'll have a really big fat line. There's so many different lines that you can choose from that there's too many to even count right now. Now, the more variety, meaning that the more different kinds of lines that you use, will make any artwork so much more interesting. I mean, who wants artwork that's totally basic, right?
Ew!
Now, lines are most often used by artists when they're drawing the outline of an object, and we actually have a nice word for that in art. When we're talking about the outline of an object, we call it a contour line. Now, the only thing about contour lines, though, it's not just the outline of an object. It also includes all the different lines of all the little details in an object as well. So, let's take a look. Now, look at this shoe right here. If I was to draw the outline of the shoe, I would take one line and draw the whole outside of the shoe. None of the stuff inside. That's an outline, but it's not a contour drawing. So what I would do to make it a contour drawing is add all the details that I think are most important, like the logo, the laces, the sole, all the stuff in there that I think are integral to the shoe. And that right there is a contour drawing. Another really good drawing exercise is one that we call a continuous line drawing. Now this is a lot like a regular contour drawing where we're drawing with lines all the little details of an object, but here's the trick. You're going to be doing a contour drawing while lifting your pencil up as little as possible. If you really want to challenge with this, you won't lift up your pencil at all. Now, just like the blind contour drawings, these aren't meant to be these super realistic, beautiful works of art. This is just a drawing exercise that not only makes a really cool, creative image, it also helps us with our hand-eye coordination. So I have my good old shoe again, and I'm going to start drawing its contour without lifting my pencil even once. So I'll start with the outline. And once I finish that, I'll go in and I'll start drawing the lines on the inside. So notice when I want to draw lines, I can just go over lines that I already made to get back to those details. And it's not about how good it looks, it's all about the technique. Although, when you're done, you do get a pretty interesting product. And then if you see right there, that is a continuous line drawing. Now another way that we can use line is with a little thing called pattern. Now as most of you know, pattern is when we can repeat shapes, colors, and even lines in a certain order, one right after the other. So if I was to make a pattern with lines, I could start by choosing a line. In this case, I'll choose some zigzags. If I do it one right after the other, that's one line of a pattern. Maybe underneath this one, I'll choose another one. So I'll choose swirly lines. So I'll go around, and in this case, I'm connecting them, but I'm doing one right after the other. And maybe under this one, I'll do a spiral line, which is like a little whirlpool line. And even if I change it up, it's the same kind of line, so it still counts as a pattern. And the more times that you combine lines, the more interesting your patterns will be. Now, if I wanted to make even more interesting patterns, I could start mixing the same lines into a little square. So let's say I'm going to start really light, and in the background of my pattern, I'm going to do some of these mouse ear lines, as I call them. Nice and light. You don't want them to be too prominent. And I'm just going to fill the whole back of my square with them. And then what I can do is I can start drawing some circles inside as well. So I'm using lines to create some circles in between those lines. And one thing that I want to do, like I said earlier, is if I want to make it interesting, I can start using thicker lines as well. So I'm going to draw some circles, but I'm going to make them really thick. And I'm going to start spreading them all throughout my pattern. You can even add some different colors as well. And right there, we have a mixed pattern. Now, a type of pattern making that's gotten really big over the last couple of years is something called the Zentangle. That's where we take an ordinary shape. Right here we have Mickey Mouse, and we add patterns all throughout it. So I'm going to go through, and like I did with the last square, I'm going to very lightly draw some lines. I really like these mouse ear lines for Mickey, so I'm going to put some right here. And maybe on the other ear I'm going to do more of a zigzag line. And then maybe right here I'll do some swirly lines. Remember, the more variety you have, the better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another thick line over it. So I think for this one I'm going to do some zigzag lines and make them really thick. So I'm going to go over them a couple more times. And then if I really want to, I can go back in, and in between all these lines, maybe he'll add a little heart. Again, adding different patterns. And right here, we have a pretty interesting Zentangle. I hope that between this video and the really fun activities that you guys are doing in the packet, you guys start to come up with ways that you can use lines in really fun and interesting ways in your own art. But if you guys have any questions, or if you guys are stuck on anything, don't forget to come to one of our office hours that we host on Google Meets every day from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. With the new art lesson, you guys should be getting packets for that during our packet pickup this Thursday, and I'll be making videos to talk to you guys about the stuff that we talk about in that packet that will be posted on this Google Classroom next Monday. Other than that, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. And I hope most importantly, you guys know just how special and awesome that you are. Every single one of you guys. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.